Back at it on a Tuesday. That's Charles Ashley. I'm Adam Deal. We just went over Albuquerque High School winning. It's their second straight. Congratulations to the Bulldogs. We both think that they have a couple more wins on their schedule. Also, it's nice to see Cibola and Volcano Vista building up into what is a very much anticipated game. I mean, that we both think that's going to be a playoff type game because it really might be.
The way that the season is shaping up right now, it just so happened that the two rivals open district play against one another, and they both need this. This is a playoff game early in the season, so much so that we just decided that we're going to do a playoff show this week.
So we're talking about District 1 6A, and let's talk about that. It's time for some 3 and out, some healthy debate, Charles, my friend. And the first topic is District 1 6A. And this district, we talked about maybe the toughest district in the state at the beginning of the year. No doubt about it that Rio Rancho and Cleveland are contenders for this state title. The problem is Cibola has been very inconsistent. Volcano Vista has been obviously very inconsistent, and we have no idea where Santa Fe is going to be, even though Santa Fe is 4-2.
They are 4-2.
Okay, but their schedule, very beneficial for them to be 4-2. Let's just say it like that. You know, okay, so Rio Rancho, Charles, we'll just go over the records real quick. Rio Rancho's 6-0. They're undefeated. In last week's top 10, they were ranked 1 in state. We'll see if they hold on to that here a little bit later. But then you've got Cleveland, fresh off that 2-point conversion loss to El Dorado, a fantastic game. They're 4-2.
Yep.
And then we mentioned Santa Fe 4-2, have not beat anybody that's worth mentioning in the 6A world. They haven't even beat a 6A team, I believe. No. And then you've got Cibola, who's 3-2, who probably should be 3-3, but they're 3-2. And then Volcano, fresh off that win, they're 2-4. So where do you see this district as district play starts this week?
Excuse me. You have it where it's going. We're gonna end this week with more questions. We're gonna have an answer to maybe 1 or 2, and then after the 1 or 2, we're gonna get more to happen.
I think we'll have a big answer. Because Volcano Vista and Cibola play.
As much as Volcano has underperformed in our eyes,
they're 2-4.
They can win this game, and now you have Cibola looking from the outside looking in, saying, "Wow, we're a 1-0-1."
Let me explain why, and maybe some fans who don't understand how it works, Charles. Let me explain why this is so big. You say, "Well, 2-4, how can they make the playoffs?" Well. A lot of it has to do with RPI, almost a rating system from Max Preps. Yep. It's a rating system of who you played, who you lost to. Volcano's schedule has been very difficult, favors them. In your district, if you finish above someone, regardless of your record, you could only have 2 wins all year, but if you finish above somebody in district play, you have to be seated higher than them, or the other team doesn't get taken and you get taken. So, for example, if if Volcano Vista beats Cibola and Cibola has a better record than them at the end of the season, but they beat them and finish above them in district play, then Volcano Vista is going to get into the state tournament over Cibola. Okay, so if 3 teams get in from District 1 5A, 4 teams pretend get in from District 2 6A. That's 7 teams. That's probably what's going to happen. 7 teams from those 2 districts are probably going to get in to this 12-team field. So that's why this game really is almost like a playoff game, because we don't think that 4 teams are going to get in from District 1. It could happen, but based on what Volcano Vista and Cibola have done before district play, we both don't think that both of them could get in. That's why this game is so big. Yeah,
based on the out-of-conference schedule, not schedule, but the results from the out-of-conference games, you're right. A lot of losses between both teams right now. So now you pin them up against one another. Let's say Volcano wins it. Yeah, they're 3-4, but that's still 4 losses on their record compared to some other district where you have 3 or 4 teams doing really well who are going to probably end with 2 or 3 losses. That's why this is important. We don't know what's going to happen, but you do. If you're both coaches, you're saying, guys, we need this win because it could come down to this win for selection.
We think that District 3 is only going to get 1 team in.
Yes.
And District 5 is only going to get 1 team in. That's what we think. We don't know, but that's what we think. So that's 2 teams. We think that District then 4 is going to get 3 teams in from the South District.
They've been impressive.
And I'm guessing it's going to be Oñate, Las Cruces, Mayfield. Guessing, right? Yep. Those are guesses. So I mean that's 5 teams, and you have 2 districts that kind of take everything. So there's a lot of potential for District 1.
Because District 2, it's going to the likelihood of them getting 4 teams in is very high.
it's probably already done.
Yeah, it's
It's probably already done. So let's move on.
Earned a
Let's
lot.
talk about it then.
Okay.
District 2 6A, and why we think this, Charles, and for once I'm going to agree with you over here, is I think 4 teams are in. Well, this is why, because El Dorado's 6-0. They're ranked number 2 in the state, and will come out with where if they jump Rio Rancho or not in the 6A poll, but they're 6-0. And then right behind them, you have Sandia, who's 4-2, okay? And then Manzano, 4-2. Or, excuse me, 3-2. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for correcting me there. 3-2 because they didn't get that win against Cibola Lightning Delay. And then you have La Cueva, who's 3-2. Highland's not getting in. We know that. They're 0-6. They're not a threat to the playoffs. But those are good. And they have both. All those teams we just mentioned have great wins already.
Great wins, great schedules. You're saying, let's be safe. Let's say each team lose 1 or 2 games. No one runs the table. That's hard to leave someone out in such a tough district.
What if somebody like Sandia loses 4 straight games in district and just beats Highland? That makes them 5-5. They're still in, right?
Yeah, you would have to think they're still in because they're 5-5, 500 record, and you're assuming that a Cibola or a Volcano can get a win over Cleveland and Rio Rancho. That's what you're assuming now. You're saying, hey, they got to be one or both of those teams to even be in an argument for a playoff spot. So that's why these games now. That's why this game between Cibola and Volcano is so big, because if you're a coach, you're thinking, yeah, you're confident in your kids, but you have to look and say, these are the dominant teams in our district.
If 4 is not getting in to the playoffs from this district, then 4 is getting in District 1.
Yes.
And because of the body of work that you just mentioned for Sandia, Manzano, I mean, Sandia has that win against Atrisco Heritage.
Yes.
Manzano has good wins against Volcano Vista, crushed them. So head-to-head wins, we favor than District 2.
Well, yeah, and I still think regardless, the games didn't count, right? We know that from the Thursday Lightning games. But we're human. We're going to say
Manzano's crushing
Manzano crushed Cibola.
Sure.
And if it came down to that, I think they're going to refer back to their notes and say, wait a minute, we know who's the better team. So it's unfortunate, but that's the way it's going to play out. But that's the exciting part about this. We just don't know what's going to happen.
So are you willing I'm going to say that there will be 7 teams that come out of both those 2 districts. You going to agree with that?
Yeah. I have to agree.
Is there a possibility that 8 teams that would mean only 2 get in?
I can see, you know what? I can see that if one of the teams
like Oñate chokes.
Oñate just falls flat on their face. I can see that, but who knows?
Well,
that's why we're here.
We're going to find out where all these teams fall in the top 10 coming up a little bit later. We got some more arguing to do, especially the top performers in the state in Monday Night Football. Come on back to uSportsCentral.
Because I got the best performer.